for clicking on the video. This is my recap and review for Real Housewives of Miami. This is episode 6 and this is season 4. I don't like how I said this. This is season 4, episode 6. Not much really happened this episode. I think it was a filler, just like I think Real Housewives of Orange County was a filler last night. But hey, let's get into it. We always talk about the drama that comes down my timeline before we get into the recap and review. So congratulations are in order for Nicole and Anthony. This was released by People magazine on my birthday, which was yesterday, January the 12th. Shout out all my Capricorns. We are the best. We begin the new year and we end it. I say we start this, okay? But yeah, y'all, if you a Capricorn and you see this, just know, we the best, bruh. We the best. But this was released January the 6th, and it is an article by People magazine, and it says, Real Housewives of Miami, Nicole Martin engaged to Anthony Lopez, a total surprise. The Real Housewives of Miami stars longtime love proposed on New Year's Eve while on a vacation in Aspen. So a brief, because I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'll drop the link below. But it basically says Lopez, 42, proposed to Martin, 37, on December the 31st, 2021, while they were on vacation in Aspen with their 2-year-old son, Grayson. And she said it was simple and private, nothing short of perfect. It was early morning of New Year's Eve, and we just woke up. We were cuddling in bed, watching the sun start to rise and glisten on the snow, and then he proposed. So congratulations to them. Although I got my good eye on Nicole, because something about Nicole is shifty. But congratulations to her. She got a beautiful baby boy with Anthony, and I really do hope we get to see their wedding, because I think it would be a beautiful wedding. And I hope they get married and they last for a very long time. So congratulations to Nicole and Anthony. Now let's get into some messy mess, y'all. Todd was right. Todd told y'all about Peter. It says Real Housewives of Miami star Alexia. I cannot say her last name. I think it's Escarari. Y'all, charge it to my head, not my heart. Son Peter, I think it's Rosalo, was arrested and accused of domestic violence. And this is also an article by People, and this was released on January the 6th. It says Peter Rosalo faces battery charges following an alleged dispute with his girlfriend in Miami. It says Peter, the son of the Real Housewives of Miami star Alexia, was arrested Wednesday night after an alleged argument with his girlfriend. He was charged with battery misdemeanor. Rosalo allegedly slapped and kicked his girlfriend of 3 months at their shared Miami apartment following a night out, according to the arrest report from the Miami Police Department, which was obtained by People. Y'all, Todd told y'all. I'm just saying, that's what happens when you call your kids and you sweep your problems under the rug now. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all thought. But let's get into this recap, which this episode was totally a filler. But let's get into it. So y'all, the episode opens up with Julia, Martina, Anthony, and Nicole. They're actually flying, and Anthony actually is flying the plane with his partner to Key West to go have a lunch date, a double date. And it was cute. I think it's cool that Anthony does have his pilot's license and they can do these types of things. I like the example Nicole used where she was like, they will wake up, because I'm a brunch girl. Leah loves her a good brunch. And she was saying they'd be like, oh, let's go get brunch in New Orleans, and they will fly to New Orleans. And I think that's good. That's cool to me. That is cool to me. But they probably fly into a lot of small areas. They probably can't really go long distances, because I do know there's a difference between private planes, like the plane that they were flying on, and then those massive planes that are like jets and those types of things, because there's the jets that we all ride for commercial flying, they reach a certain altitude where they have to stay in constant contact with air traffic control, whereas those smaller planes sometimes don't, depending on what country or state that you fly those planes in. But I thought the double date was cute. We ended up finding out that Julia left the USSR, which is Russia, when she was 17 with only $100 in her pocket. And she was relating this to because her youngest daughter, who is going to be a junior come next year, is moving to Paris to go be with her father and her half siblings. And I have to get the little girl grace, because when they did the flashback, I thought she was being really mean to her mom. But then again, I have to think about like being that age and then just your mom just crying. It freaks you out. So I got to get a little girl grace. But Julia is having a hard time realizing that her baby will no longer be here. She'll be in Paris. So, I mean, that kind of sucks. Like, because I know people like who, especially my parents, like they actually, like, you know, there's certain events in high school that everybody, that parents want to be a part of, like homecoming, prom, you know, recitals, if you go to like a school that has that, or if you're into like tournaments and stuff like that. And it kind of sucks that Julia won't be a part of that in that way, because she won't be there every day. And I also don't know what the school system is like in Paris. Then we see Lisa and her two kids at the sugar factory. I kind of always wanted to go there. I know it's like a tourist trap, but I felt bad for Lisa. I was like, girl, where your nanny at? Because her kids was tripping. The little boy was like doing too much with the mat. Then you got the little girl climbing all over the steps. And I said, Lisa, do you be having them babies, or does the nanny? Because you couldn't say nothing to get them in check. And I'm so used to people who have kids. They know what to say to their kids to like tighten up. And I was just like, yeah, like, girl, they doing a lot. And I hate being at restaurants when you got kids just running around everywhere. That's just like, I didn't come to this restaurant for that type of atmosphere. And the outfit Lisa had on, I said, Lisa, sis, you could have it's raining outside. Why do you have on dress and like stilettos? You should have just wore some pants and a t-shirt and called it a day. Like, she was doing too much. Lisa was doing too much. So then we see Marisol and Alexia, and they're just having drinks. And Marisol wants to know like what happened with Peter and Todd. And you know, Alexia tells her, she was like, girl, it got really bad. Then it got a little bit better. She was like, Todd wants the best for us. Like, he loves us. She was like, Peter's just sensitive and he suffered a lot. And then they bring up, you know, Frankie having the accident and how he was in a coma for almost 6 months, where he didn't get to use his limbs or his brain. And so here's my thing. Alexia, like I just read y'all in the beginning, Peter done got locked up for domestic violence. Peter got problems. And I feel like Alexia contributes to those problems in a way in which she does not hold Peter accountable. And I'm not saying she is responsible for him being violent towards his girlfriend, because at the end of the day, he almost 30. So no one, like, he's 30. Like, no one, like, he's 30. Like, you're a grown man. Like, so you putting your hands on a woman, that's up to you. I just feel like last we heard about this, season 2, he punched a homeless man. And my thing is, like, I'm not saying the homeless man didn't do nothing to him, but there's ways in which you can walk away from situations. And it seems like Peter doesn't know when to walk away. He doesn't know when to just stop. And I feel like you can see there's a lot of like turmoil going on in him. Like, he's insecure, but he's also a dick. And then he's kind of a bum, but he could be great if he pushed himself, but he doesn't want to. So that's what makes him a bum. And it's just like, I just feel like Alexia always uses the accident with Frankie to justify her son's bad behavior. And I don't think that's fair. Like, at this point, like, I could give you that in season 2 because the accident happened. And then here we are with the whole, like, that was right after. And then this situation happened because you could tell Peter was angry that his brother was suffering. So I could give you that, but we are like 12 to almost 11 years removed from the accident, and you still doing stuff and being violent. So I'm like, he need therapy. intensive therapy. The whole family need therapy. But yeah. So then we see Gertie. So someone in the comments asked me like what hurricane, when it came to the, not hurricane, earthquake with Haiti, which one she was talking about. She was talking about the earthquake that happened on January the 12th, 2010. And her brother's widow has a foundation that actually helps with resources, or providing resources for the educational system in Haiti for students. So Gertie wants to have like a huge celebration for, like, in remembrance of her brother, and like so they can get a lot of donations. So I thought that was really nice. We also found out that her brother worked for the UN, so he seemed like somebody that was very like prestigious and high ranking in her family, in the sense of like maybe he might have been like one of the authorities, because if there's 7 of y'all, there always is like, there's somebody who, like, you know, you always run your stuff by, then there's like the sibling that you hang out with, and then there's the one you bring all your problems to. So that's what he seems like he was. She got a call while she was meeting with her team, talking to them about doing the foundation, and we found out that Alexia has finally picked a venue for her wedding. So that was good. Then we see Larsa and Sophia. Larsa is modeling her jewelry. She said she was supposed to be on the cover of Harper's Bazaar, but I ain't see it. But then again, I don't be buying Harper's Bazaar like that. The beautiful Kiki shows up, y'all. And y'all, Kiki a model. And y'all, the way she was posing when she came in the scene, you could tell Larsa didn't really know what she was doing. And that's, Kiki is showing y'all the difference between like IG modeling and modeling. Like the poses Kiki was doing when they showed that brief clip of her and Larsa in like I think they were like in a garden area, and Kiki was like fake laughing and doing the poses. Larsa looked confused, but I was like, girl, that's how you get a good shot. And then like, and every time Kiki moved her hand, you could still see the jewelry, Larsa's jewelry. So I was like, okay, Kiki really be modeling out here. And so it is a difference between an IG model and a model. But Larsa says she's been working on her jewelry line for years, and she just wants it to work for her. So we're seeing Larsa has her hands in many pots. Like, she's trying to generate like an income and wealth for herself. And I don't have no problems with that. I really don't. So do you, Larsa? So we have Lisa and Nicole, and they meet up at some little lounge area, and the dad convo comes up again with Nicole. And here's my thing. I'm glad she met up with her father at the end of the episode. And I just feel like she should reach out. I didn't like when when Lisa was like, well, you only got one mom and one dad. That don't mean nothing nowadays. Mainly because we've come to the day and age where we're like, sometimes your parents be the toxic one. It's not you. And you have every right to like disengage and move on. But I feel like the fact that Nicole is still like mulling over the idea, and the wheels are turning, and she's not really set on wanting a relationship with him and not wanting a relationship with him, I think that they should reach out and see if she can make a relationship with him. Because at the end of the day, like Lisa said, if he dies, you don't want to be like, dang, I didn't have this opportunity. So take the opportunity. If you can take the opportunity to create a relationship with that person, it might not be, and that's the other thing. As I get older, I've learned that you can't set expectations on relationships and not voice them. So I think Nicole has expectations of her father that maybe she hasn't clearly voiced. And I feel like she should, because she has every right to. I also think she has to understand that sometimes you can voice those expectations and people just don't live up to them, and that's a hard pill to swallow. But if you want a relationship with that person, you have to figure out if you're going to accept it or not. So we can get to her dad. So she meets up with her dad. I don't know, the man seemed like an old asshole, to be honest. I kind of felt like she came in with an attitude slightly, because she already asked him like, are you drunk? And I was like, well, girl, like, start out, ease into it. He brought her some flowers, but it seems like he always does that. he then says like she was happy that she found out that he met up with Grayson, her son. And she said, yeah, but I think it was weird because I think he was drunk. I think he kind of was drunk because he started bringing up like, you know, you have 4 siblings that you know of. And she's like, seriously, like, are you trying to like, are you playing? Are you drunk? Like, what's up? And then, because I think she was trying to say, I don't know if the dad was trying to be like, maybe you need more kids. It was like an awkward conversation. Because then Nicole was like, I don't want you procreating with nobody else. Like, you don't need no more kids. And I think that was kind of like a slight, this is my thing. I think Nicole was slightly jealous because if she found out that her dad did have kids and he treated them better than her, I think she would have a problem with. But I also think Nicole is being rational because it's like, bro, you 60 something, you don't need children. You don't need children, which he don't. He really don't. But I kind of felt like, I think 2 things can exist at the same time. I think there was a slight tinge of jealousy, but like I also think she was being rational and saying like, you don't need to be procreating cause he really don't. He really don't. He really don't. So then we found out that Lisa wants to have a like slumber party. They're also going to go to like a sexy cabaret show. They're going to, I think it's the Finata. I don't even know how to say this word. But it's this really nice hotel. They actually are in the United States' largest penthouse. It was beautiful. It's 50K a night just to stay in there. I said 50K, but it's 2 floors. I think the best part of the actual penthouse was the balcony area. It was so big, and then you have this beautiful view of the beach. It was really nice. They're all like Lisa also splurged and got them really nice it looks like silk pajama sets for everybody that she ordered from London. They go to the cabaret show. Everybody gets there. They're all having a good time. I thought the best part of the cabaret show to me was the oral, like the aerial performance. It was like a man and a woman spinning on like the like hanging drapes, and it was cool. I kind of cringed with the hostess of the cabaret. She was doing a lot, but maybe that's like it was supposed to be sexy. I don't know. It wasn't sexy to me. She was kind of annoying. Lisa gets called on the stage. She tells the world that, like, you know, she kind of she fantasizes about Julia. And Adriana don't like that because Adriana don't want to lose her friend. We also find out that Adriana says she's been leaning more on her friends since her divorce, especially since her son is no longer there. He's like in school. And, you know, she's just kind of lonely. And then Julia said that they were soulmates and really didn't care what nobody thought about their friendship. We see that Gertie and Adriana got the same idea. They're not about to be around each other. They're not going to engage, but they're going to keep it cute and cordial, which that's what you got to do. You can tell Marisol don't like Nicole because she throwing slick, like, little shades in Spanish. But because she said in Spanish that she was like, Nicole would probably kill me if she was like, you know, her anesthesiologist, because Nicole is Dr. Nicole and she's an anesthesiologist. Gertie arrived. So then before they went to the cabaret show, Gertie and Nicole were out on the balcony, and we found out that the venue that Alexia wants, they canceled. They basically was like, we can't accommodate all the people Alexia wants to be at her wedding. And they also said that Gertie also mentioned that it seems like I don't think they put a down payment for the venue, because Gertie said, Alexia said this is the venue she wanted. She was corresponding back and forth with her people in New York and in Miami, going back and forth, and things just didn't get settled. So when they come back from the cabaret thing, they're all upstairs in the penthouse. Everyone gets into their silk pajamas that Lisa purchased. And Nicole is like, before that, they were like, when Nicole and Gertie were on the balcony, Nicole was like, when you gonna tell her? And Gertie was like, I'm gonna tell her tonight. And Nicole was like, why would you tell her here? And I was with Nicole like, girl, why didn't you call her like before this? Why are you waiting till now? So then Gertie was like, you know, as a professional, I always like to tell people up front, so then they can't like be mad or anything like that. But I normally have a backup plan. But the thing is, like, Gertie admitted that she didn't have a backup plan. So I was like, why would you tell her and you don't have a backup plan when you say you normally tell people when you have a backup plan? I was with Nicole, like, you should tell her, but like, I wouldn't wait. I don't know. I just felt like, Gertie, why would you wait till they were at this party to tell her with all the women there that like her venue got canceled? Like, this is what you sent in the email, or you called me before we all together. So then we see Juliana and what's it called? I said Julia and Adriana being Juliana. That's their name together now. Being inappropriate. They are way too touchy-feely to be friends. They are way too touchy-feely to be friends. And I'm touchy-feely with my friends, but now I'm not feeding none of my friends. I'm not like straddling none of them. I'm not doing none of that. None of it. No, they be doing too much. But like I said, the women are back from the cabaret. Everybody's in their silk pajamas. The pajamas are cute. They're all like pink or lilac. And then we see like Marisol, Alexia and Gertie sit down. So Marisol basically tells Gertie, like, sis, my friend is stressed out and she's stressing me out, and I just want to know, are y'all really relaying information back and forth? And Gertie kind of was like, stay in your lane, Marisol. And basically, this is when she decides to tell Alexia about the venue canceling. And Alexia just breaks down because she just feels like, is this the universe trying to tell me not to marry Todd? Because she's like, I always feel like I got to fight for everything and I just want stuff to be simple. And sis, I have been there where you just feel like you're doing all the right things, and no matter what you're doing, it's just not working out, and it's frustrating. And you can tell that Alexia is just frustrated and she's tired. But then, what's her name? Lisa come in and they play like some truth or dare game. I don't know. A lot of them, they was like sucking on peanuts and stuff. I don't know, y'all. I just feel like the whole group is very touchy-feely, and I wouldn't be doing that with none of my girlfriends. Like, I got friends, but I'm not like gonna be putting my lips on you. Like, you know, I might hit you on the butt, I might poke a titty, you know, things like that, but I'm not putting my lips on your lips. Like, no ma'am. No ma'am, I'm not doing that. But Lisa came in and broke up like the tension, and it seemed really nice. Like, for the most part, it was chill. So yeah, y'all, that's it. That's all. Remember to be bravely authentic. And yeah, drop down in the comments below. And I'm out, y'all. Deuces.